Hello, welcome to the tax news from CCM for June 2020. About 5 minutes on updates for tax. Thought it might be more interesting to send it this way than pushing it out through written articles. However, the written articles are always available. Obviously, the biggest tax news is the continuing support for businesses and sole traders through the CV pandemic. The job retention furlough scheme has now been extended till October 2020. From July 2020, you will be able to bring workers back on a part-time basis, but they must already have been furloughed at June or by the 10th of June 2020. The part-time basis is entirely up to you as to what you want them to do, but you can't bring them back full-time and then change them into part-time afterwards. You have to have them on furlough and bring them that way. From August, the employer is going to have to pay a percentage of the furlough payment. Just checking my notes as to what that is going to be. 1st of September 2020, the government will reduce to 70% and then to 60% in October. So it's 1st of August, government will stop reimbursing NICs and pension contributions from the 1st of August, then drop to 70%, and then drop to 60% before the scheme finally ends. They have said there is no more extensions to this. This is it. I very much believe in following the money. What that suggests to me is the government is not expecting a second wave of coronavirus, which is obviously good news for everybody. Next bit of news, the income support scheme for self-employed is also being extended. It did originally cover the period March, April, May. It's now going to also have June, July, August. That's a further 3 months. The same rules do apply, but instead of being at 80% as before, it's now going to be at 70%. For those of you that already have made or for those of you that we wrote to in either the bright green or bright yellow envelopes, if you haven't yet made your application, do so. It's the same process if you have made the application. The scheme, though, is not going to be open yet. When it does, we will give you a further update. I believe that it is going to, again, I'm just checking my notes, I believe it's going to be June, end of June before it opens. Well worth claiming if you are eligible. Remember, it is tax, although it's not repayable, and we will put it on your appropriate tax return when we come to that. The interesting bit of tax news for this month is football referees have been officially declared as self-employed. So if you are a football referee, you are officially self-employed. But what that does mean is you are directly responsible for your own tax on the monies you received for the game. So I know of a number of football referees who receive payments for attending FA matches. This doesn't have to be at the top end. This is Sunday League stuff as well. It does need to be declared. Tax does need to be paid. It is going to be an area HMRC are going to be looking at. So if you are a part-time football referee, please do bear it in mind. Excuse me. Another question that I've had a number of times through this period is, if I have a company car, can I furlough it? In other words, if it's not being used, can I not pay the benefit in kind on it? If you have a company car and you're not using it, you don't have to pay a benefit in kind for that period. You're not using it. But we do need to know about that. For those of you that produce P11Ds, it's P11D season right now. We will talk to you about this more. We try and avoid suggesting company cars. They're not the most efficient tax way of actually doing things. But if you are interested in finding out if you've got an availability to reduce your benefit in kind through not using your company car, do let Jamie, Andy, or I know, and we will follow it up with you. Things to remember through this month: corporation tax for the year ended 31st of August 19 is due on the 1st of June. If you're having trouble paying that, let us know. We can organise time to pays. They are very available. PAYE, NIC and CIS deductions for the period to the 5th of June are due on the 19th of June. Corporation tax for the 30th of September is due on the 1st of July. The payments on account for individual tax that normally are due on the 31st of July are not due this year due to the pandemic. If you have P11Ds, touching on what we talked about there, anything that you had a benefit in kind for the period to the 5th of April 2020 is due to be reported on that P11D by the 6th of July. I know Jamie's on with them now and he will contact you if it is appropriate. I think that's it for tax news for this month. Bye for now.